Hello and welcome back once again to a dual update of Let's Play Blade of Darkness.
The Gorge of Orlok is a natural pass between the mountains that border the ancient kingdoms and the steppes of the north. In the past, these mountains formed the kingdom's most advanced line of defense, and from them departed the raids of the conquering kings towards the rich and distant Northlands. However, it is now centuries since the last of those raids, and even the gorge itself is beyond the present borders of the kingdom. All manner of malign creatures now lurk among the ruins of those ancient fortifications. In the days before the War of the Sword, one of the gems of the legendary Tomb of Blade was concealed there, though its fate has now been forgotten.
Well, and no one will ever be able to go through here again. Good job, dwarf, you idiot. Anyway, yes, as I said, this is a dual update, as I do nearly every time when there's a choice between two levels. I do them at the same time, apart from, Shalatua and the Oasis, because they are kind of different. And this is, of course, to my internal joy, the two updates that I will be playing as the garbage characters, the dwarf and the barbarian. The gorge here almost said forge, which, well, there's a future level called the forge of something something. The gorge here will be played by the dwarf, and it is actually the first level where OpenGL mode really fucks things up, because the fog here, for some reason, in OpenGL it's like you cannot see farther than a meter in front of your face. And it's obviously an error of some sort. Apparently there are future levels after, including the Forge, I think, actually, that have the same problem, but there is a mod that fixes it. Apparently I haven't actually used it because I decided, nah, fuck the OpenGL mode, I'm gonna play in the 3D glide, blah blah blah, which displays everything but the water and the fog correct. And by water and the fog I mean when there is a combination of those two. Anyway, I wanted to say something about the weapons of the dwarf. You can see on the left side sharp axe and war axe, and you might have noticed actually that there is a war axe here. Now, is there any sort of discrepancy that you might see? Indeed, the names of these two axes are actually switched together by mistake. I am not sure where they are switched, either on this list or the names of the items themselves when you pick them up, but rest assured that despite being called the war axe, this thing is indeed the weaker of the two, and does have the slash back special move, not the body chop. But this is irrelevant to us. I have this thing, which is called the sharp axe, but is actually the war axe, the second one, and I will never use it because it sucks. Because my queen sword, despite I already used it as a knight, and it might be slightly less exciting to see, it's just better in every respect. But I'm going to stick to this huge club, which actually looks kind of ridiculous as well, because it's like this huge chunk of wood, but banded in some sort of iron framework for no reason. Also, the dwarf is wearing the light armor now, and in this level we'll actually be able to find the medium armor for the dwarf, so it all works out. But yeah, dwarf, I do not recommend playing as him at all. If you can avoid playing as all characters, just skip the dwarf. I would also advise skipping the barbarian, because, well, unless you want to experience like all the characters after you familiarize yourself with the game using the Amazon and the Knight. I think I've said all of this before actually, but it doesn't really matter. Missed my brutality, because that's the name of that attack. Yeah, the dwarf, I just do not see anything about him, apart maybe from that first level, that if you want to see it, play as a dwarf the first level and then continue some other character. I don't see anything about him that would make him a more interesting character to play as, because he does nothing better than any other character. in my experience. There is nothing about him that is better than anyone else. Maybe like the climbing animation, but that's not really a reason to play the dwarf, is it? Like the animation of climbing high ledges is better than the Amazons, slightly faster. Anyway, this is actually a dead end. You come here if you want this thing. And this is closed. This is like this little fort in the mountain pass. We will actually be on the other side of this door and exit out of the other side of it later. But for now, let's go and see the path that we didn't take, which leads deeper into the mountains. This level is kind of weird. It looks weird. It's very short actually, which is why I picked dwarf for it. But dwarf, wow, yes. But another reason is of course that it's kind of appropriate to have the dwarf playing this snowy mountain level, I think. And I am pretty much picking characters by appropriateness at this point. Anyway, we're going here, and here it's faster for Maru to take this side. This is a really weird place. You'd think there would be like a boulder rolling here or something, some reason for this dual path, but there is nothing. You can take whichever one you want. There we go. Brutality is actually surprisingly fast special move, unlike most of the dwarf's other special moves. But I've found that it's easier to just spam regular attacks. I don't remember if the Knight or Amazon can afford to do that with their stamina, but the Dwarf and the Barbarian definitely can. And the Dwarf, this pattern works really well that I found out some time ago. If you alternate between the strikes that you do with pressing left and right, like so, it's fairly fast and it swings in a wide arc around the horizontal, so if you just get, like the enemy gets off center, you will still be able to hit them before correcting yourself. And you know, for some reason, just for many weapons and characters, the strike plus left and then strike plus left plus right is a, whoa, fuck off, yes, is a very fast combination of attacks, like so. For some reason it just works that way. Anyway, let's drink the 1000 life potion. I'm never going up here, and it's almost perfect for my amount of health that I had. And yeah, I really wasn't paying attention to combat up until now, and I probably won't start suddenly. It's just, well, this level isn't hard, and as the dwarf I don't really want to pay any sort of attention to the gameplay because, well, whoa, now this always tricks me up. I always almost fall down here but never actually fall. Okay, stop getting stuck in the snow, please, dwarf. Well, let's go slightly a roundabout way here. I could just drop down, but that's usually, with the lack of the plunge attack in this game, it's usually better to just kind of walk around. And this path takes you down to where the troll is and a couple goblins there, which I want to dispatch first. That guy doesn't even see me, I think. Give me your travel rations. I want to cure that poison as fast as possible. There we go. And now the troll noticed me. Let's see, brutality probably will work against him because he is slow and useless. Yep, and he dies in one hit of it, of course. Right. Almost the last guy here. I don't know what I was trying to do there. But yeah, at least, well, I mean, there's one thing that the dwarf has better than the barbarian, I shall say. Only one thing, is that he actually has blunt weapons, because the barbarian, I don't think he has really any blunt weapons, so the golems and skeletons, as him, are a pain in the ass to fight, and there's no one even here. I guess this goblin must have dropped down at some point. But yeah, the dwarf actually kinda destroys those enemies. The golem in the Tombs of Etheria, or whatever that level was called, where the first golem is introduced, that golem died in 2 special attacks, or maybe 2 special attacks and like 1 normal attack. Whoa! I always forget that there's this trap. The bridge kind of blows up under you and there's spikes. So yeah, he has that going for him. And I guess in combat he isn't quite as slow and completely a pain to control as the barbarian. And some of his specials are actually useful in combat, like right away, without trying to do some sort of stupid game manipulating thing when you start the specials before enemies even come close, so that like the last hit of your move hits the enemies, which is, as I always said, it's really stupid. There's nothing up here. Really stupid thing. But I guess, well, maybe the barbarian and the dwarf are just for people that don't know what to do with this game but really want to play it. And I think I will stop complaining about those characters now, because you might not know it, but this level is almost like half done already, I think. Well, if you judge by how much time I'm taking, probably is half done, because not by territory probably, but you know, whatever. There's here a little hidden almost entrance into the some sort of cavern system, which is kind of a shitty place to fight in because it's very tight and the camera gets stuck, and also it's sort of a labyrinth with a way forward hidden in a very asshole way. Wow, yeah, I'm getting wrecked just because I got tired. I already have my 2 barbarian shields, even though I'm not using really any shields. There we go, this one at least died in 1 hit. Okay, well, there's pretty much nothing in this whole system of tunnels. It's not very complicated, it's very interconnected. There's these 2 places which serve no purpose at all. Although one is more interesting than the other. This one is more interesting because there is a place there which looks like you could be able to get there somehow, but I don't think in all my replays of this level... Oh, actually, you know what, never mind. By that glow, that blue glow that I recognize, I think I know where that is. I didn't think you could get there, but let me see. First of all, I'm gonna kill this dude here. Kind of spoiled his appearance for you, I guess, but no matter, these guys are pathetic and not worth the time. Fuck. There is this thing, Doom Axe. It's for the barbarian, not for me, but I just want to point out that this is like the most overpowered. For reference, see where the combat axe is in this, like, second to last weapon. That's where the Doom Axe is for the barbarian in his table of moves. So it's kind of strange that it is this early here. Maybe the developers put it here just in case we pick the Oasis of Nijep or whatever first, and so get to this level very late in the game or something. Anyway, let me see if my hunch was correct. No, it was not. Well, there is this ice sword here. For some reason I thought maybe this was that place. Because I pointed out there was like a little glow on the side, and I thought maybe one of these magic weapons was there. I know that there's 2 magic weapons in this level. I think, though, that none of them are actually in a place that kind of looks like that shape. So it's very mysterious now. This, I think, is where we come from. Yeah, this is where we come from. So I don't know, that place, now that I noticed that glow, it really looks like you could get there, but I have no idea how. Maybe there's like a wall here that could be broken in one of the sides. You see there's this like glimmering, shimmering, whatever, blue thing on the wall there. That's what threw me off. And even besides that, there's kind of no reason to have that place carved out there. But yeah, this is strange. Well, I know there is at least one person in my comments that actually played this game before, so if you know, let me know as well. Maybe I will look. This game has like a level editor, at least you can download one from the internet. I could look there. Anyway, let's proceed, not to stall anymore. This little passage in this wall, completely unnoticeable, is the asshole way to proceed. Also, this switch is kind of useless. You might hear the sound. Thankfully you can turn it off. It activates a trap. This spike here starts going up and down, and it is still possible to get by without getting hit by the trap. I don't know if it's an insta-kill or not, probably is, knowing this game. But it's of course safer to just not have it turned on, because I don't think there is a good way to like trap a enemy on it or anything, so it's kinda useless. Anyway, we are officially now in that fort, the entrance to which we saw before, which was a dead end with the crash bow or whatever that was. And is it just me, or do the textures here, like the wood textures, look especially cartoony for this game? Because just look at the stone here. At least kinda looks like it was maybe made from a photograph or something, but the floor here and this wooden wall here really look like they were just painted. Maybe they couldn't find proper references or source material for these two textures and they made it so. Anyway, this place is really small. Right now I'm looking over the half of it already. There's this little thing called pedestal. Well, because it is a pedestal, so no real wonder there. And here is the dwarf medium armor. It actually finally makes the dwarf just not look like an idiot. Although I'm not sure it gives him enough defense to not be a completely shit character anymore, but... Well, actually, well, I mean, this is the farthest I've ever gotten in this game as the dwarf, because I never played as him. So I don't have a lot of game experience to tell. Maybe it makes him at least slightly resistant to damage. Okay, now here's a little funny thing. There's a knight waiting there. If you go through the door, there's this, like, horror sting place, like, and he of course attacks. I think it is, well, I mean, I know it is possible to go around there, come from that side, kill the knight, and I think that actually disables the sound effect when you go through this doorway. But if you have a long weapon, and I am praying my weapon as a dwarf is long enough, I can't actually hear. Anyway, if you have a long enough weapon, you can totally kill him through the wall. He won't even wake up from that. Let's see, maybe the axe is longer. No, I don't think it's hitting him. Oh well. You can totally hit him, kill him through this wall. And if you do that, the sting still plays. You can go through here and hear this like horrifying music note, and you just see a guy dying or already dead, depending on how much you wait before you go. Nothing in his chest, but here's a trap. Trap kinda useless. Since I couldn't kill that guy through the... well, through the floor, and by floor I mean wall, I will try to at least show how it is to go around. Orb! For something that magical is just a glorified key card. Which kinda irks me, because I mean, obviously it's easier to animate an orb floating and some particles than the proper mechanism and the animation for inserting whatever device needed to the mechanism and stuff. But it's really absurd that this little shithole of a place would have this super magical item to open 4 little doors. I will show you obviously what it does. You will be able to judge for yourself about how just over the top it is. Anyway, there is the knight. Damn it. Let's test if I was correct about the sting not playing if you kill him. Because I didn't actually know for sure. Okay, stop doing whatever. Taunt me or something. Or I can just spam you. At least after I recover my stamina. This guy actually has a cool shield, so he's not very spammable. Damn it! Yeah, I'm not really trying. I don't want him to drink the potion though. God damn it. Could pull that off, even despite like the initial hit getting knocked off by the shield. Still continued doing the move. Wow, this guy is relentless. I don't really want to bring the fight out here because there's archers. But I might have no choice. Phew, that was... yeah, I completely fucked up that fight. Wow. Well, at least I survived. And he had a life potion as well, so that's cool. But yeah, normally I would try to break the shield and then just spam him. Oh! I was completely incorrect, it still plays. Wow, that is bad. Oh well. I overestimated the thoroughness of the level designers, I guess. Also, I forgot to go down here. It is where you fall if you fall into the trap. There's another knight somewhere around here. I hope I don't die to him, actually. Oh, and there is the exit of the level, pretty much. God damn it. Dwarf, you're an idiot. Why did you just run up to him instead of doing the move that I input? God damn it. Why do you do that? Okay, at least this guy doesn't have a potion and I hit him 2 times already. There we go. The dwarf is a disaster. Admittedly, I'm not playing as well as I could, let's just say. I'm gonna make any excuses, although I suspect the commentary curse is in full effect here. No food? No food. Oh well. There's this piece of garbage here, Ice Hammer. It has this move that I could perform, Ice Strike. Doesn't seem to freeze anyone, and it's really hard to land. Just let me quickly, I hope this doesn't fall through the floor or anything. Let me perform the move and I'll show you how horrible it is, you can guess for yourself. This little poke with a hammer. Half of the time, well, half, more like 3/4 of the time, you just miss with it, because the enemy is just slightly off center, and that is enough. But when you don't, god damn it, when you, wait a second, it looked like there was more than one floor I flew past. Let me just look from the other side if there is anything here, because suddenly this is intriguing. No, there is nothing there to land on or anything. Oh well. But yeah, if you don't miss with that hit, it still doesn't really do any worthwhile damage. So I don't know why they included these magic weapons and made them so garbage. Then again, I don't know why they included the dwarf and the barbarian and made them so garbage anyway, so whatever. And here's another side of that, like, completely exceedingly magical cutscene for what is actually just like a key. Oh my god, there's now electricity going into the obelisk, and the obelisk, whatever, is shining. There's thing flying over around the obelisk, and the obelisk is now doing electricity into those faces, and that opens 4 wooden doors. Holy shit, talk about overcomplicated. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I slightly hate, because it makes it harder to suspend disbelief, you know? Anyway, here is what we came in here for, Aquamarine Key.
This is Velia, the blue gem, the deep aquamarine, guardian of the tomb of the sword, mounted over signs of the snail and the trident, ancient coat of arms of the fishermen of the sea of Vinaya.
It has a kind of cool design too. And this door is leading to the other side of the fort, and there's the exit, well, almost. And this is the one that remains closed. I presume that dead end where we could find the crush bow is on the other side of this. All that's left now is a couple enemies and we are out, mercifully. I kinda hope I don't get killed by this guy, but I will attempt to show how well the club does against him, because he is vulnerable to blunt damage. Dante rocking out. There we go. Another one and he will be dead. Too bad I don't have enough stamina. Oop, 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 oop. Also, remember I said that the golems always have the same music playing. I was wrong as well, because this is totally not that same music. And now he's dead. What a moron. Oh well. And those logs lower when he dies. And those were what I saw through this window, presumably that one time. One enemy left. There's a couple archers above. Probably just one on the roof actually, but it don't matter. I cannot sadly get to them. I could probably shoot them, waste all my arrows, but I don't see the point. Anyway, let's level up on this guy. I don't know why they included this monster, which is so garbage as well. They included a lot of things which are garbage. Actually, for how mostly good this game seems, there are a lot of things in it that are just bad. Character controls and many other things that I mentioned before many times. Anyway, the mystery remains, of course, of that one place that I didn't know how to get to, but sadly we'll have to exit now without ever knowing. Well, maybe I will just kind of see on the internet or look into the level editor if I can find this map in the game files. Oh, goddammit. Well, you could see that the horns on his helmet were disconnected. I said goddammit because this cutscene activated, I couldn't rotate anymore. But there was a glitchy model there. Oh well, at least half of the crap character update is done.
Anticipating the enemy's plans, you have succeeded in liberating Velia, blue gem set under the sign of
And the guy redundantly just repeats, so that is why I'm talking over him, because screw the narrator if he can't think of anything original. So in the next video we will go through the fortress of Nemrut using the barbarian, which I am not sure why I picked it in that order that way, but whatever, seems slightly appropriate. Don't question me. Thank you for watching and see you next time.